Well, good afternoon, everybody. I know a lot of people will be surprised to know that I'm on the air today. We're doing a very special show today. How you doing back there, John?
Doing very well, except for the rain outside.
I'm talking to our producer. I always have to shout out to him because he's the man. Oh, so today I have on the phone with me from Chippenwich, Mr. Craig Jones. How you doing, Craig?
I'm doing great.
Great. Now, you guys are known as the Food Network Food Court Wars winner. That's a mouthful, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Well, I just so you know, I'm very proud of you guys, even though I don't know you. I always think it's a great accomplishment when I see young people, advance like that. And I watch all those shows and everything, and I was just like on pins and needles, like, who's going to win? Who's going to win? And then to come up with the concept of Chippenwich, people's been throwing potato chips on sandwiches for a minute, and then to have you guys do it, and it makes you a winner.
Oh, yeah, for years. You think you were on pins and needles. Oh, my goodness.
I know when they get down to the last two people, you don't know what to do. You're like, should I just stand in? Am I trembling or what? So tell me, now you guys used to be in Detroit, in the Detroit area originally, right?
Yeah. Actually, me and John both work for Wolfgang Puck at the MGM Grand Casino, and so, the Chippenwich idea actually started there. We were pretty much working on this for like 3 years.
Mm-hmm. So you mean to tell me you work for the one and only Wolfgang Puck?
Yeah.
Oh my God! See, that's amazing right there. You could have your own restaurant just like Wolfgang Puck.
Absolutely. One day, Chippenwich is just the tip of the iceberg. We got tons of restaurant ideas, but we just want to make this one a solid concept.
Yeah.
Chips on a sandwich. Come on. We've been doing it since we were kids.
I know, because it's just something to do, to throw the chips on there and make it crunchy. I did it as a kid. Who would have known it would have made you famous?
Absolutely.
Look.
If you see it, look, Bill Cosby used to do it.
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid, we used to do mustard and sugar sandwiches. I wondered, can I make that a concept?
You never know.
Mustard and sugar is like, that was a thing. It's like if you didn't have any meat or anything and you want to make a sandwich, that's what you did. And, you'd be good to go. I guess we'd probably be amped up all over the place.
That's true. Hey, that's not so far-fetched. My cousin used to eat lettuce and mayonnaise sandwiches. That's a little off the wall.
Well, I ate those in high school. That was like a diet plan to lose weight. I could tell you stories. Oh my goodness. Now, how long have you and Jonathan been working together, aside from being the chefs there? Is that how you met and came up with the idea, working together there? Or are you like childhood friends or what?
No, actually, I'm a Pennsylvania native. I'm a transplant to the Michigan area. And,
oh, okay.
So I met John at Wolfgang Puck, and then we, this is like 6 years ago, and we've been working together ever since, in different kitchens. We worked at the West End together, over the Book Cadillac. So we kind of bounced around, but I'm originally from Pennsylvania.
So are you considered a chef, like with the white hat chef, or, I don't know what they're called. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but you know how, you might be like a sous chef or whatever, and I don't even know the difference in all those phrases, because when I watch like Top Chef, and under the title there'll be sous chef or chef de cuisine, and I don't even know what all that is.
They're all just different levels of where you're at in certain kitchens. Certain kitchens only have sous chefs. Mainly me and John, we are mainly cooks. We both classically trained chefs. We both went to culinary school and all that, and we're chefs on the outside because we did catering and all kinds of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, where we are now, we're sandwich crunch masters right now, so doing our thing.
I know. I love it. I love it. So you guys gonna need some new hats for that because like somebody was saying, the taller the chef's hat, the higher level they are. Now, you guys have hats like that, or you just don't wear hats like that?
That's what they say, but I like a good old-fashioned baseball cap.
That's right. Just turn it backwards and get to work.
There you go.
Now,
the shorter the top, the easier to work.
Yeah. And then when I saw you look like you're about 12 years old. So do people find that like, oh, you can't be the owner because you're too young looking,
Absolutely. Everybody's like, how old is that guy? I'm actually 29 years old, but hey, I'll take it,
I mean, because when I saw you, I was like, who's that kid? I was like, oh, he brought his kid with he got his kid on TV working with it. But it's a good thing when you can be that old and look that young, because when people say that, it's always a compliment. Where my son is 29 and people will card him, he get all offended. He like, I said, boy, you better be happy that you're not 29 and looking 59.
There you go. Exactly.
So now, who came up with this concept of the chips? Because you're already doing your thing for Wolfgang and all these other places. So whose idea was it to like break out and say, well, let's do something else?
Well, I mean, it was actually just one of those things I used to do all the time, and I mentioned it to John. I was like, you ever put chips on your sandwiches and stuff like that? Was you kidding? And of course it was yes, and his was always the bologna with,
Yep.
all that stuff. So
fried bologna.
I was like, man, yeah, right. I was like, man, we should come up with a little concept where we, do the same thing, but we, freshly fry our chips, toss them in our own seasoning, and kind of do a restaurant out of it. And then me and John ended up coming up with, let's do Chicken Witch, and he threw in, his Detroit flair because he's had the floats all his life, so we got all Faygo floats.
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
I'm from Pennsylvania. I grew up drinking Faygo still too.
Mm-hmm.
Faygo is just pure nostalgic down here.
Yeah.
And I mean, where else could you get a float outside of root beer?
Yeah, because I'm from Arkansas, and we always had like Faygo too, and I'm from, when I moved to Michigan in the 60s, and it's a lot of Faygo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so you guys just decided to make Faygo floats.
Yeah. So, and use Faygo exclusively. We try to use as much Michigan products as we possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's our thing, Michigan made,
Right.
And, we did this about 3 years ago, and, it was a true blessing when we got that Food Network call, and I was pretty much, it's so hard for a startup restaurant to get open.
Right.
And that right there was like the jump start of a lifetime.
Right. A year's free rent?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all. So when we were up there and I saw how small the mall was, I said, Midland had to be on Jump Street when Tyler Florence come up and bring his crew and everybody see all this. That was a good promotion for the city of Midland, let alone the little mall.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it was. I mean, it was huge. But it's surprising. There's still tons of people that come up and they never even knew the Food Network was there.
I found a lot of people. A lot of people don't watch those channels. I watch all of them.
Right, me too.
Now is what was it like when you had to apply? I mean, where did you get the idea of applying? Had you been watching Food Court Wars because it's brand new show? Yeah,
it's a brand new season. I have no clue about it. But a buddy of mine has a restaurant in White Lake. And he watches all that stuff. He's stayed up on the media and all that. So he was like, this thing came across his desk. He was like, oh man, this thing is perfect for your sandwich shop. And he told me and John to apply for it. And that night, like midnight, I applied for it, not thinking they were going to call. Whoever thinks.
Right.
Back. But yeah, and they called and Yeah.
How long did it take them? How long did it take them to call you?
Actually, probably only about 2 weeks.
Oh, well, that was
quick.
You had a good concept.
It was really quick.
Yeah. So
yeah, it was quick.
So what did you have to do? What was the application like?
So basically, all it was they called and did an interview with me. And, of course, John was at work. He didn't answer the phone call because they called him first. But they called me, and I was like, okay. They asked me a bunch of questions, and they said they wanted to talk to John. So I texted them, you better answer the phone.
Right.
So they called. They did the thing with him, and then it was just a phone interview. And then after that, the next level was a Skype interview. So they wanted to, see how we both interact together. And pretty much, I think that's the one that's told it because, we're fun. We like to have fun and just clown the whole entire time and, answer the questions. And they loved our personality above the food side of it. They really loved our personality, and that's kind of what got us on there. And, basically after that, it was a lot of faxing of a lot of documents. I mean, we had to sign release after release, and with being in the media, that's how it is. You're going to be out there, you got to sign everything.
Right. Get your hands ready.
Exactly. That took about another 2 weeks right there doing all that. Then after that, it was like, here's the time, be here and be ready.
Wow. So luckily you could just drive there, but the other people, do they fly them in and pay for all that, or are you responsible for getting there yourself?
Where you mean all the
contestants?
All my people?
Well,
the contestants. No, you know what? They pay for the hotel, everything.
Oh, okay. Okay. You just had to get there.
Yeah, I had to get there.
Well, lucky for you, it's just like right up the street.
Exactly. 2 hours ain't bad. I was like, I'll be there.
Right. You load up the car and be on the way before the phone hangs up.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. So now, do you think in doing this, do you feel like a rock star? Because when I came up there, I said, where are the owners at? They said, oh, they off doing judging for something. And I said, they being a rock star now. So have you gotten a lot of publicity and people are asking you to come to events and stuff like that would help promote the sandwich shop?
Absolutely, and that's exactly what it was. I mean, but it was a good event, and it was basically an Iron Chef battle, with amateur chefs and that, and they went head to head, 3 people in each team, and it was all for the charity for the arts, like the museum.
Yeah.
And we had different things throughout the city, Bay City. So
So
we'll do it. And then the funny thing about it is it just so happens the woman that we beat on the show was one of the contestants in there.
Oh.
It'd be kind of funny.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So did you guys participate or were you just judges?
We were the judges. She was the participant.
Oh, okay. Oh no. Did you kind of feel bad? Be like, oh, I know that lady.
A little bit.
Yeah. But winning is a good thing because, like you say, a startup has to be a little costly, and then you get like a year's free rent. So that's a good chunk of money you can save to put into something else. So by the time rent is due, you'd be on point.
Exactly. Exactly.
So how many people does it take to run the place?
Well, on the weekdays, we're kind of slower on like Mondays and Tuesdays, in the daytime. So you really only need like 3 people. And then on the weekend, probably 4 people. That's pretty much it. That's all you need.
Yeah.
And
because it's a small space. Yeah, it's a small space because everybody be stepping over everybody.
Exactly.
So now, do you have appointed supervisors on the shifts and stuff? Because you guys can't be there every day, obviously.
Right.
You have people that...
We just bumped 2 people up into management roles, and that's why we're leaving more often now to get them used to kind of like running it on their own. Right. And, getting them used to it. And, we're every day is working. You got to make sure. You always end up hearing something, what happened, and you're not there. So that makes you be like, oh, I want to get them right.
Yeah, well, that's what makes it work, because if you don't get input, then you think you're doing everything right. So by having people make comments, whether they're good or bad, you have to be open and receptive to them, and be like, if somebody be like, yeah, I had the awesome time, you like, yeah, and then another person be like, no, I did not. Then you got to be able to deal with that too, and not be, all crazy like, oh well, they talking about, they don't know what they talking about.
Right, you can't be cocky. I want to hear everything. I want to
Right.
hear everything that's going on at all times.
Right, because you never know. I might see y'all on another show.
You never know.
What would be your ultimate show? Like, if they had a show that was saying, okay, we're gonna give you a big restaurant, like, a Wolfgang Puck style. Would you be interested in doing something like that, along with having your sandwich shop on the side, where you guys would be, and then you guys would be the head honchos?
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet. I would definitely do that, because I got tons of ideas for different restaurant concepts. I mean, all I need is that one to kind of benchmark me, and I'm on a whole bunch of different ones.
Yeah, because I think, once everybody knows about Chip and Witch and know who you guys are, they see your faces enough and everything, and then you do branch off to other things. Because just imagine, you could have a chain of Chip and Witch, you can franchise them out, and you'd be like Burger King, Subway, and all that stuff, but it'd be Chip and Witch. You think of that?
Yeah, exactly. That's the plan. That's actually what I've been, the whole entire, from inception, this is what it was going to be. We planned on being multi-unit. Mm-hmm. So we've setting things up and heading in that direction right now. So
Yeah. Now
we have offers, too, already, too. So
oh.
That's pretty cool.
Well, so like in other malls and different things like that, people are actually offering to set you up in different places where, you have a good line of traffic.
Yeah, we had one mall offers a slot, but then there's just outside investors, people that want to. There's the people in California.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to buy a chicken witch. He wants to open it up, so he wants to franchise it. So, they're coming in now, and it's so funny because a lot of these people they never even eaten there.
Right.
They love the concept so much, and they were like, I want one. So, well, give me some time, and I will get you one.
Right. So now, the idea of franchising, does that hurt the flag store? Like, is that taking anything away from you guys, because you got big investors buying it, and they're gonna, maybe make this big gigantic building while you